Around the Wickets time on ThePapare.com. Well, I can tell you, not the ideal weather for sport. You know that it's inundated with rain and floods and all that. But still, we are here to talk about sport and about cricket and how cricket looks for Sri Lanka. Well, as you know, the Sri Lanka tour of Pakistan is happening. That is absolutely good news indeed. As far as the game is concerned, my personal thinking is nothing should come between sport and playing it. Unfortunately, or very nearly, this tour never happened, but thankfully all the clearance have been received and we should be having cricket on the way. So lovely to be with you once again. Farveez Maharoof with me. Your thoughts? Happy that the tour is on?
Of course, I thought there's been a lot of talk going around, as you said, about security. So finally, everything has a green light, can go ahead. And looking forward to seeing some cricket in Pakistan. It's been long. I have played in Pakistan, which is one of the best places to play cricket. The conditions are right. So looking forward for a good one-day series, especially with so many youngsters coming through. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, indeed. Pakistan is a good place. I've toured Pakistan and I know what it looks and how people love the game. Would you believe it, last time when we went to the T20, this is an interesting story. Last time when we went to the T20, only T20 game, and the commentators started walking into the ground and I was right in front. And I was kind of astonished when there was a lady, police lady, who came up to me and gave me a rose. You know, getting it from a lady police officer was something that I didn't
You're lovable
expect.
to all of us, Roshan.
I'll tell you, that was a new experience. I was trying to carry the rose with me, but as you know, the roses don't last long, so it perished. But this memory will remain with me for the rest of my life. But again, just looking at the Pakistan side, four players not playing. Shaheen Afridi, unfortunate, down with dengue. Hassan Ali, the
Big miss.
generator, as they call him, his actions, his gestures after he gets wickets, he's got a back injury. Mohammad Hafiz, I think, he's left out. He struggled a little bit towards the end. And Shoaib Malik retired. The last two names, of course, I don't think can really offer too much. So that's as far as the Pakistan side is concerned. But it's still a good side. And how do you see this young Sri Lankan side standing up to them, playing in Pakistan in front of a very loud and a partisan crowd, crying or desperate for home cricket and wins for their side? How would this young Sri Lankan side cope with it?
I reckon it will be tough because playing at home, Pakistan have got a very good team as well as good experienced team and pace heavy. There's so many fast bowlers in there, so I'm pretty sure they'll at least go with three fast bowlers up front and maybe another all-rounder with a fast bowling option. So looking at our options, we still have got some good players in it with our depleted situation, but still going into the series, I feel we'll be the underdogs for sure, but we can surprise a few people.
See, one thing that, a question that would always come into my mind, is that it's about handling the crowds, experienced cricketers. That's why I believe a World Cup experience plays a big part. They know exactly how to handle situations, how to handle the crowd pressure, game pressure, all that. So these guys, these youngsters haven't played in front of such big houses, going there for the first time, playing in a foreign land, not in front of a crowd that is supporting you. How would that situation tell on some of these young cricketers? Do you think that would be a factor?
It will be a factor for sure. Very important not to get intimidated.
Okay.
So that's where...
How do you do that? Imagine you field on the boundary and you have the crowd shouting at you and saying all kinds of things. How do you forget that?
You have to switch on and switch off. Cricket, you've got to switch on and switch on, switch off and
switch on. So just be focused on what's happening.
Yeah, when the bowler runs in, or when you're batting, when the bowler comes into while batting, you just have to switch on. And if the cricket is off for a while, it's important to switch off because you just can't be switched on all the time.
What happens if you drop a catch at that time?
It'll be difficult. I'm telling you, India, Pakistan especially, if you drop a catch, they'll let you know. So it'll be tough, but all I'm saying, intimidation is a huge factor. That's where the experience counts. So I'm pretty sure that experienced guys in our squad would feed the youngsters saying that not to get intimidated, but just remain focused and do your job. End of the day, it's doing your job and let the results to be at the end.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I can tell you that you need to turn, as they say, a disadvantage to an advantage. So while Sri Lanka is disadvantaged for not having so many senior cricketers, I can tell you that these youngsters have got a huge opportunity. So let's turn that into an advantage. Let them take this opportunity, showcase their talent, and keep pushing people for their places. Now, talking about pushing people for places, one man whose place is up for grabs, at least for the next 1 year, is Akila Dananjaya. That's a sad story, real sad story. I mean, one bowler that all of us thought would win games for Sri Lanka may not be in the same caliber of a Muralidharan or a Rangana Herath, because he's still got a long way to go,
absolutely.
but he certainly had in him the ability to dismiss batsmen. How sad is this?
It's a big story. I mean, feel for the boy actually. I mean, 1 year, it's going to be a long time, and mentally it'll affect him. So it's important, people speak to him and SLC to look after him in this period. It'll be very tough for him to get over this. And
you think mentoring, you think psychological help, such things are also important, and that those areas should be looked at?
Absolutely. As I said, when it comes to looking after the player, of well-being, I think these little things what you just mentioned, Roshan, is very important, and it's a cricket board's utmost responsibility to look after him, because we know after a year he may come again and perform the way he did. So we need him. We have, as you said, we don't have a spinner who can take wickets in the middle, except Akila Dananjaya, in my own opinion. So, 1 year is a huge time to be away. But as you said, it's another bowler's chance to come in and grab that opportunity.
Yeah, if we dwell a little bit more on Dananjaya, I know you haven't been there, so it's not a fair question to ask you. But tell me about the possible mentality of someone who's just been called, who's just been banned, who's had this issue now for a little while, going back in bowling again. How tough is it going to be on many counts, knowing that the world is watching you, that you can't make the slightest mistake, and you're on trial? In a scenario like that, can a bowler really perform? Is it possible? Can that be done? I can't see anyone doing this before, because I'm just stretching my question a little bit more, because I can straight away talk of Saeed Ajmal. He was a failure. Sachitra Senanayake struggled. Well, Johan Botha struggled. Shoaib Akhtar struggled. I mean, I can go on with the list. There are quite a few. Shohag Ghazi of Bangladesh just disappeared from the scene. So, considering all that, how much of what are Akila Dananjaya's prospects?
I mean, prospects would be very tough. I mean, that's where the character of the boy will come out, as well as people around him, how he's been handled, especially with the coaches and the mentors, what he's comfortable working with. So overall, as you said, all these big names did make a comeback, and some of them had a good career. So it's up to Akila now. I think.
What I said was that they were not able to carry on with their career. They were not effective after they were remodeled. Ajmal was just disgrace, sorry to say that.
If I look at this way, Roshan, I think for the time being, I feel, in my opinion, that Akila should only consider playing limited overs, 4 overs or 10 overs, 1 days or 2020s. Forget about playing the long version. For the time being, when he's comfortable with his new action, when he's going to come back with, once you do that, he will know himself that how comfortable he is. So he got to listen to himself. So overall, tough period ahead. Sri Lanka cricket will definitely suffer without him. But overall, I mean, as I said, it's a positive note in the other way around. Getting another new player in and try to groom him as well. And as I said, the next 6 months or so is going to be crucial for Akila's full career, I would say.
Well, I'm hoping that he will come through, but also you got to try and make the most of what you have. So at least let's hope that Dananjaya will be able to come back. That is Akila, and Sri Lanka will have someone who would step up. Right, let's move on from national cricket to A-team cricket. The Bangladesh A-team is here. We're thankful to them for coming. Pakistan under-19 came, Bangladesh came, New Zealand came immediately after that unfortunate April 21st incident, and it's very encouraging to see touring teams coming to Sri Lanka. So the Bangladesh A-team here, and Sri Lanka have come up with a very strong combination. But I've got some interesting little snippets given to me about this A-team. First is Roy Dias as A-team coach. What are your thoughts? Avishka Gunawardene was the A-team coach, but unfortunate circumstances don't permit him to be the A-team coach at the moment. But what are your thoughts on Roy Dias being A-team coach?
I think last A-team tour that we had was to India, where Roy Dias coached. And it had a decent tour. I mean, lost a test series, but we ended up doing well in the one-day series.
What is the role, what is the role of an A-team coach? Now, people may argue that it's about developing players. That's true. But then, what about that winning feeling? What about that need to win kind of situation, getting used to that? Isn't that also important?
Absolutely. I think A-team level and emerging level, you feed the players to the national level. But it's just not about individual performance. It has to be a team goal, a team winning mentality as well. So that's where I think the emerging coach Chaminda Vas and A-team coach Roy Dias, both of theirs,
they'll have a big role.
They have a big role. Their responsibility should be, in my own opinion, is that they have to make that winning mentality among the players, not only about individual performance. So I think Vas has so far have done a brilliant job. Whereas Roy Dias also have done a decent job so far. But this tour is a very important tour. Bangladesh, I mean, they have a strong team on paper. So I reckon if the weather permits, we will have a good series. And whoever performs well, Roshan, this is the time. National level, there are so many places up for grabs, and these players would definitely put their hands up.
Now, well, Ashan Priyanjan has been named captain. Now, tell me about this. Now, he's been A-team captain for a while. Now, what's the thinking behind making him captain? Because, you would expect when you're an A-team player, captain player, you need to take that next step up. You should be playing at the next level. I mean, is it fair that you just make him captain, or is this the ready-made A-team captain where he's been given a side and said, all right, you lead the team and you don't go beyond this? Oh, that appears to be the message to me, because Ashan Priyanjan hasn't taken that next step up. On the other hand, if he's unable to take the next step up, I don't think so. I think he's a very fine player. I felt even from school days he should have done much more. Then just moving away from what he's achieved. But if the selectors feel that he's not the right choice to get to the next level, is he the right choice to be A-team captain?
I reckon, I mean, he's been, as you said, he's been captain for a while in the A-team, and he has done decently well. And he has a
at A-team level.
A-team
so why is he not stepping up?
What I'm saying, my point I'm going to make is, now look at the players who have been in the squad for the Pakistan tour, and all these guys are ahead in the pecking order. He's ahead of Ashan Priyanjan.
So then why make him captain?
I mean,
continuously captain of the team. I'm just asking.
He may be, I mean, I think he may be. I mean, he won the CCC, when he captained CCC last 2 years, I think they won both the...
So you were trying to say that the selectors want a settled person, irrespective of where he can go.
Bit of that, as well as into the national team. If you look at Dimuth, he's been captain at the SSC level, and then straight away got his chance, and he's done well. So whereas the consistent level when it comes to A-team cricket, I mean, if he's there in the A-team, I think he should be captaining.
Okay, obviously
he should be captaining.
He shouldn't be playing under anybody.
Just that in the pecking order of the national team at the moment, he's down at the moment. So once his chance will. Well, once his chance comes, he'll take that step.
But that's a kind of a sad state, Maha, because 9 or 10 players aren't going. So if he's still down in the pecking order with 9 or 10 players not going, I mean, that's a sad story.
If you look at the names, Roshan, Danushka, Minod, Sadira, Oshanda, Angelo, all these guys was among the World Cup team, and they never got a chance. Look at Oshanda and Angelo, who were not in the 15, they were in the 4 standby, so they toured and they never got opportunity.
I agree.
So that's a pecking order. It's a consistency shown by the selectors. I think they should be applauded in this way. But Ashan Priyanjan, for me, is not that far, but just that he needs to wait for his time to come, and once it comes, he just have to grab it.
See, the issue is time is not on his side, so I'm not sure how far he can wait. He needs to make the grade very quickly. Anyway, that's for the future. Good to see Akila Dananjaya. He's been included. I mean, that's another sad story. I watched him when he dropped that catch at goal in the slips, and I never really thought that the injury could be this grave. Well, 2017 to 2019, the injury has kept him out for 2 years. But the good news is he's in the A one-day squad. Malinda Pushpakumara, Prabhat Jayasuriya also in the squad. So these are good decisions by the selectors, obviously looking at every possible angle.
I think especially when you said about Asela, I reckon injury at Test match against India in Galle, where he broke his thumb. And since then he made a comeback, but just couldn't get to that level where he used to be. So this is another chance he's getting. So he's still, for me, he still have a role to play, especially in one-day white ball format. Especially in 2020 cricket. So I reckon his form going forward with the 2020 World Cup coming in, I reckon it's going to be very tough for the players to be with, and he's coming back. We know how good he is. Just that he has to make runs and be among those highest runs getters. And Malintha and Prabhat Jayasuriya, I mean, they're given another chance. I mean, they've been in and out, and I just hope that one of those will get this opportunity. I mean, you know that Lasith Tambuldin is our number one spinner in test setup, but when it comes to the second slot left-arm spinner, these two are fighting. So, you know, it's a healthy battle going on.
Yeah, I'm delighted for all of them, and particularly Asela Gunaratne. I mean, how can you forget some of those heroic moments? How we won games for Sri Lanka and South Africa and Australia. Unbelievable. Fantastic. And let's hope that he will make a comeback and he will get to the next level. Right, time to move on to the ladies game. Do you like the ladies game?
I've been enjoying it for the last 2 years or so.
I
I've been
know
watching
you
it.
enjoy watching ladies play. That's good. Anyway, tell us about the Sri Lanka tour of South Africa, Australia. Shashikala captains the one-day side. Chamari Athapaththu the T20 side. I think Chamari Athapaththu is going places.
Yeah,
she has made a huge impression. Now, with 5 months to go for the ladies T20 World Cup, this is a nice preparation for Sri Lanka.
Absolutely. I think they are going to be playing in Australia as well as the World Cup is in Australia. This is the best way to prepare themselves for the countdown of the World Cup. So, you know, these two players you just mentioned, Roshan, Shashikala and Chamari, those two carry the mantle of being the senior players and the best players in the team. Especially with Chamari, you know, she has made her name for herself in global market when it comes to women's cricket. So happy to see a Sri Lankan doing that. And Shashikala, with age, she's still, you know, doing decently well. So she has a big role to play.
But
at the World Cup.
are you happy with the progress of ladies cricket? Have you seen them progress? That's my question. Because, you know, we've seen a few names, but as a team, has Sri Lanka progressed, do you think?
I mean, lack of consistency again. I mean, they've been very inconsistent. In 1 or 2 games they perform
They're
well.
consistently inconsistent.
So that's something that...
well, no disrespect to the ladies watching. Please, no disrespect. We're just trying to be a little bit funny. Yeah.
Coach Harsha De Silva, that's where I think he must be working on. Speaking to him a few days back before he left, I mean, that's something that he's trying to get into this team, being more consistent with their performances. Individual performance will definitely get to the team performances. So that's where the ladies have to be, you know, more mindful.
I think Harsha is a brilliant skill coach.
Yeah, there he is.
I mean, we've seen what he could do. He's produced some outstanding cricketers and always had coaching in him from the time he started doing school coaching. I think he's the right man for that. Let's hope that he manages to take the ladies cricket team to the next level and over the line. Anyway, we are almost at the end of our show. I must remind you before I go that you need to subscribe to ThePapare.com if you want real quality and up-to-date content of world cricket or cricket that's happening around you. Right. Now, we asked you a question last time. The question was, how many countries participated in the Under-19 Asia Cup and the Under-19 Asia Cup qualifiers in 2019? Congratulations, Sajith Rajapaksa, you're the winner. You picked the number correctly. It's 21 teams overall, 21 countries, right? All right, this week's question, listen to me very carefully. In the abandoned second test in Lahore in 2009 between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Now that was a critical game. That was what should I say, destiny-changing match, because cricket didn't go to Pakistan for a long time after that. That was really what caused the game to be abandoned. We're not going to talk about it, but that game was abandoned in 2009 in Lahore. And when that game was abandoned, in the first innings of Sri Lanka, there were 3 batsmen who made hundreds. Now, our question to you is, with Sri Lanka tour about to happen, with Karachi and Lahore happening, tell us who those 3 players who got those hundreds for Sri Lanka in that test match in the first inning. So that's a story on Around the Wickets on ThePapare.com. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll come back again very soon. Until we see you again, it's goodbye from Farveez Maharoof and myself.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for our latest content.